up? Welcome to Comics Copy, episode 1. I'm taking that off the table because I'm going to be spinning it all fucking day. I am, as always, your host, Jake. And across from me, we start with
Mitch.
Andrew.
That's it. We have Brandon here too, but he's probably not going to be a regular.
You may know us from our other podcast.
Brandon, are you gonna come back for more?
Maybe. If there's coffee.
If there's coffee. We have Brandon has a type of coffee. It will certainly make you warm.
We're going to make you read at least one comic a week if you want to show up to these.
He's just going to read My Little Pony.
I got your Civil War thing.
2 comics a week.
I mean, he can read My Little Pony. I'm fine with it. From what I understand, the stories in them are decent.
It would bring
cool.
an insight to this show that none of us possess.
Oh, man.
Much as I am.
He could really help us reach the 8-year-old girl demographic.
Yeah, I know. And if I can get caught up on Adventure Time comics,
oh, we got it all covered. So I'm going to start this off with the great divide here that we discovered before we started the show.
For more,
it appears that Andrew and I have come to a head as to whose idea Comics and Coffee was. Because I came up, Mitch and I came up with it. Yeah, Mitch and I came up with it back in January as a type of video podcast, and we fooled around with that, and it ended up never happening. Then about a month ago, I think Andrew came up to Mitch and I and was like, "Guys, we should revive Comics and Coffee." And obviously, Mitch and I were like, "Yeah, fucking do it."
Let's do
comics.
We talk comics a lot on a regular podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
And so I guess Andrew and I are just gonna split fucking creator duties here because I don't give a shit.
We co-own this bitch.
How come I'm not on this?
I mean,
alright, co-owners.
You both gave me this look like you were about to go, son.
Just like the parents are talking.
That's fine. I just wanted to be a counterpoint.
This will be basically. I'm fucking just so goddamn busy right now that for the foreseeable future,
a lot of us didn't
more
get to
going to
read
be
this
like
one.
Andrew's show.
Yeah,
until I can get my shit together.
And I'm going to take over editing and shit on this. I'll just need to get to you when I need to post it.
Yeah, and then I'll post it on shit.
This is kind of going to be my baby, at least as a podcast goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for the foreseeable future is basically just Andrew, Mitch, and I just have
doing
fun.
our regular comic rant.
Yeah, and it may detract a little bit from the podcast in that we may not discuss comics as much on there, but we also may not. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
The podcast is, as always, a general
stuff
podcast.
happens.
So, and this will the idea of this one is to be substantially shorter than Work in Progress itself. So
gonna try to be.
We'll see.
Even if we tried our damnedest to cram all of our comic talk into this show, we'd still probably have some bleed over into the other
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Because we talk about this shit a lot.
We do.
Yes, we do.
really do.
You really do.
So, as the reigning, I guess, showrunner here, Andrew, how would you like to? I don't want to fucking take up all this time. I'm your segue man. From now on, you're going to be introducing these episodes of shit.
All right, well, cool. I was actually thinking of for this first one, because even though we've talked about comics on the show, I don't think any of us have ever really gone in depth as to like what our favorite comics are and maybe like our favorite superheroes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've talked about Spider-Man at length, so I'm probably
No, never. I'm pretty sure on one of the other podcasts you talked for about like 45 minutes.
at least 2 or 3 times. So yeah, but I was thinking, because it's going to be a regular comic show, it would be good for us to get out there. Like, what are our favorite superheroes and our favorite books right now? And just
Sounds good to me.
Jump into the water on that one.
Before we do that, can I note how appropriate it is that I have my fucking deep V, my only deep V shirt, and my fucking hipster glasses on
I
right
like
now?
it.
Yeah,
Because I'm such a goddamn comic book hipster.
I'm actually wearing an Avengers
You'd be
shirt.
so sad
A
if
comic
this is
book
video.
hipster.
I what?
I'd be so sad if this is video.
Dude, I wish it was, but whatever, it's audio. I don't give a shit. Anyway,
And we can always do video for one of these.
Someday we'll do whatever.
But Ian and his camera aren't here. And
we need that.
silly. So anyway, Mitch, why don't you take us away on that? Who's your favorite superheroes and some of your favorite comics right now?
I've always battled between probably the head people from DC and Marvel, so I've always battled between who I like more, Spider-Man or Batman. When I was a kid, I got more into Spider-Man because I had access to that cartoon a lot more. And then when, what was it, Fox Kids at the time? That was a long time ago. When that
was
kind of
yesteryear.
in a fortnight of years.
Oh, yes.
When that kind of started dying down, we got Batman Beyond because I had public access for
WB.
most of my life. Yeah! See, in WB Public Access, I had the series, The Adventures of Superman / Batman, which was always a coin flip whether I'd get a Superman or a Batman episode. Most of the time, with my luck, I got Superman, which wasn't a bad cartoon either.
No.
But it wasn't as good.
But I don't know. So
I
really started falling in love with Batman mythology when I got Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
And then when I was in high school and I really started getting into comics a lot more, I got introduced to Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. So I was a huge DC guy, and then only really until like maybe last year I really started going back into Marvel comics. So I'm more well-rounded.
Well, from what I recall, it was like 2 or 3 years ago that you started to delve back into like the Ultimate Universe.
Oh, I've always loved Ultimates. Yes,
yeah, I remember a
That's
good deal
right.
of times where Chris, you and I talked for 3 fucking hours about the Ultimate Universe.
Yes, I adore a lot of the Ultimates Universe stuff that they do. For favorite books currently out, because you mentioned that, I still love following Ultimate Spider-Man, especially since it looks like he might be joining the mainstream. At least that's what they're still teasing. Superior Spider-Man, and for that matter, Superior Spider-Man Team Up. I'm a huge fan of. I love all of Scott Snyder's Batman. So good.
Let's just grunt over that for the next 25 minutes.
I was a huge fan of Talon. I've kind of fallen out of grace with it just because I've run out of time.
It's still
very good,
yeah.
but it also is going to be changing writers, which kind of bums me out a little bit.
Their current writer has the best name for a writer on the face of the planet.
Yes, James Tynion IV. That's an amazing name. The only reason he's dropping out of that book is because he's going to be one of the main writers for Batman Eternal, a book I've ranted about on the podcast and very, very excited for coming this January.
Stop mocking me.
Just twirling his beard, and it's so fun to do.
I've never had a beard.
It's so fun to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Other books that I like reading, or at least that I kind of try and keep up with, are, when I can, Green Lantern, because I know it's under a new author. I love trying to follow Hawkeye, but Jake will go into more detail with that probably.
Yeah, well,
because
he's the one. Of this podcast
he's the one who introduced me to the series, so I want him to talk about it more. For a brief time, I tried reading all new X-Men. At times, it was awesome. It's really gone downhill, in my opinion. So those are really the main books that I follow to a T. I also pick up just anything and everything that has a cool cover or has characters that I like reading. So that's kind of how I got into Superior Spider-Man, which is why it's probably my favorite to this day. So those are the books that I follow the most intently.
Superior's a good one.
I feel like cover art appreciation has fallen off.
That's still what gets me into new comics. Like, if I'm not already an avid reader, I will pick up what has a cool cover.
Yeah, exactly. I've actually been the same way. I'll go out right now. I'm the comic downloading guy. But when I'm downloading comics every week and I'm like scrolling through pages and pages, it's got things that people have uploaded. If I see like an issue 1 that has like a cool cover or like a neat title, I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
So that's how I got into Superior. It was an issue 1. It was a cool cover. I was like, screw it, and that's really what
Spidey
dove me into it again. So yeah.
So basically, what Andrew just said should be translated as, I don't support small businesses in my community, and I hate physical copies of comic books.
See, I'm going to take... I knew it was going to come up at some point. I take the same approach with comics as I do with like music and movies. I'm going to go out and buy and support the ones that I really like.
And you'll totally use the fucking digital stores to get the other comics before you buy physical copies, right?
Well,
it's not a bad idea.
I mean, maybe. I went out to Vintage Stock over Thanksgiving and bought the new issue of Nova. I bought Guardians the first trade and some Spidey trades.
Tainted this home with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. We're gonna get to that. In fact. We're gonna get to that. I'm definitely going to get into the habit of buying trades at the very least, and probably big issues of books that I really like.
Yes.
I'm thinking about picking up the Ultimate Spidey Cataclysm stuff. That seems like it's going to be a big deal.
I'm a huge... before I started collecting the trades, before I started collecting, I guess, the single issues, I was always a big trade guy, where if there was an issue that looked interesting or I read it, I would be patient and just buy all of them, which is still probably a better philosophy because I'd save more money that way. But only in this past year have I really gotten back into collecting issues, and for what it's worth, it's nice because I've always been a firm believer of the phrase, it's the little things that matter the most. And the fact that I can look forward to every Wednesday is a nice little joy. So it's been fun getting back into collecting.
It's the good shit.
So,
I agree. Yes.
So we got into Mitch's comic book history there. Sparky, would you want to enlighten us with what
it's
brought you to where you are today?
We let you on here.
It's okay. I'm coughing too.
Squeak the fucking chair.
I'm sorry.
God damn it,
monster!
You can edit that out in post, right?
You're a monster. All right. Shit, there's so goddamn much.
What are the singles that you like?
Well, do you want? I guess I should ask Andrew. Andrew, do you want my current favorites or like my lifetime favorites?
I would settle for both. A little of each. A little of this, little of that.
You're the guy who goes, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thanks.
Exactly what you just said, actually.
All right. So Lifetime's gonna be a little hard, so I'm gonna do that second because
Yes.
I've been doing comics since I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Whether or not
You've probably got the most experience of any of us on here.
I take that with a grain of salt because there's like 4
a
years
lot
where I
of-
fucking didn't read them.
Well, you certainly have more than me, if nothing else.
Okay, I guess even currently it's
Start with the
obviously
currents, yeah.
Currently, my 2 favorite running series are obviously going to be Hawkeye and Sex Criminals.
Yeah, I knew it.
Because all
Yeah,
I do all day, every goddamn day, is suck Matt Fraction's dick.
He's a great writer.
Oh my god!
You're
He's
the one
very, very clever.
You got me into reading him, so
Yeah,
I really
he's-
appreciate that. Yeah.
I remember the first time I read a Fraction book. It was
it Iron Man?
no, it was one of the issues of it was Iron Man. It was the first issue of Invincible Iron Man, and I remember reading it. And the first connection that came to mind was like, he's like Joss Whedon if Joss Whedon wrote comics. And then 2 seconds later, I was like, Joss Whedon does write comics.
That's when you stop and go, more often.
More often.
Now, hang on. See, I haven't read Fraction's Iron Man work, but it seems to me
I got to read like a
it
couple,
seems to
it's
me
good.
like he would be very good at writing Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
I'm
There's
gonna
a reason-
have to look into
He
that.
won a fucking Eisner for his run on that.
All right, that would make
Yeah.
sense. That would make sense.
It's. I don't remember the.
I've read a handful of them. They're good.
I don't remember the exact issue count he had on it, but it was like 6 years. It was about as low as Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern. But they
that
also
was a
renumbered
long
it.
time.
They also started renumbering it like halfway through. They went from like
Renumbering.
whatever it was to like the 500 number, the original numbering. I don't even remember the final issue count, but he did it a long time. That was his fucking baby.
Yeah.
And that was also the one they used as the. I don't remember if his book was the prototype based off of the movie, or if the movie was based off of his book.
Nice.
Like the origin story, I don't believe is in the book that they used in the movie, but the same type of.
Well, they just redid his origin though, just
exactly.
recently, which I haven't read, but heard
I
it's
didn't read it either.
cool.
Anyway, so again, me sucking Fraction dick just all day. In recent memory, Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run, because Green Lantern,
And it's so good.
it's so fucking.
and to clarify, he is your favorite superhero.
Oh, easily.
Green
Hands
Lantern's
down.
a great one.
I should
Just to
say
get that
though,
out on record.
It should be noted though that
I adore Green Lantern.
Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner and Jon Stewart and Kyle Rayner, they are not my favorite superhero. I love the Green Lantern as the
as a hero.
the banner.
Yeah.
Yes.
But my favorite Green
I'll agree with
Lanterns
that.
are Mogo and Boost. One of which is dead now, and I cried like a bitch when he died.
Which one? Bzzzt?
Yeah.
Okay.
They even carry him back in this tiny Green Lantern
I love-
coffin, and it's an awesome page, and they're just like, "Let's take our friend home," and I'm like, "Boost died."
No, see, the best part about that is I knew very little about the character. I loved his cameo in Blackest Night.
It was so good. He comes back as little zombie fly. Oh.
And it's really funny because
Yeah.
Guy Gardner catches him with like a construct of like 2 toothpicks.
Yeah,
or something.
he's like, "Pink."
He's like pink.
So yeah, recent memory would be Green Lantern. I didn't like Core as much, though it should
I don't
also be
like
noted
Core
that
as
my
much.
favorite story in current Green Lantern, and actually it might be my favorite Green Lantern story of all time, doesn't actually include Hal Jordan or really anybody. It includes Guy Gardner and a character. She comes up every once in a while, but she has like these weird wings on her back.
What
And
lantern
she's
is
like
she?
an alien. Well, she's not a Green Lantern anymore. She's a
red one?
She's part of the Green Lantern Corps,
Oh.
and it's a 5-issue story arc.
The one that doesn't
wasn't
get mentioned anymore.
Yeah, exactly, because it was like a 5-issue story arc that was written by another guy.
Yeah.
It was like right in the beginning of Jeff Johns' run, where he took like a 5-issue break for some reason, and this other guy wrote the story called the Green Lantern Corps.
Heard it was cool.
And it's like Green Lantern Black Ops. It's fucking awesome.
Cool.
Anyway, so okay, that's current stuff. I guess I
like
should.
what Jeff Johns is doing with Aquaman a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't.
It's fine.
I will say that I finally broke down and I did read it.
Yeah.
I read like the first 10, 12 issues.
I'm just saying it looks like
About through the Black Mana stuff.
Yeah.
he's
and it
doing
was really good.
he's
Yeah.
doing what he did to Green Lantern to Aquaman right
Exactly.
now. So I'm loving it right
yeah,
now.
that's exactly what I
Yeah.
would expect. So I'm gonna move away from Jeff Johns because
Yeah, sounds good. We can talk about
So I could be on Jeff Johns all day.
I keep fucking
Same here.
God.
Between Johns and Fraction, you could just go.
Oh my god! If you give me a room
they're
with
great
those
writers.
names, just pants off, dance off all day. This is
Which
like
we
the
could also-
gayest podcast I've ever done. All right.
There's nothing gay about
All we
it.
needed to
there's
do was
nothing
get you
gay
on a
about
comic
it.
tangent.
Exactly.
That's all it took.
Okay, so
We might have to do separate issues, though. Like, we might do a whole podcast on just Jeff Johns or Matt Fraction.
Oh, my God.
That would be a lot of fun.
Oh,
All right,
my
anyway,
God.
just ideas.
Just sit here.
Just ideas for the future, yeah.
Feverishly masturbating.
Thank God it's
anyway.
Thank God it's not a podcast. So, again, going back in time a little bit more.
Into the Wayback Machine.
Are there any books that you, aside from those two, that you
like right now? I think. Well, right now I don't really keep up with fuck
Right.
all. Like, I'm behind on Hawkeye at least 3 issues, and I haven't read Green Lantern in God knows how long.
Yeah, I haven't really read much of the new
I'm
guys,
so
although I've heard it's
busy.
cool.
But in like current run, I don't think there's much else that I'm like super attached to, simply because I've kind of fallen off track recently because I've been busy. I do, however, hear real good things, obviously, about Snyder's Batman.
I've loved it. I can talk about that later.
And I've loved everything I've read of it. Other than that, there's not a whole lot.
0 Year has been freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Every arc that he's done has been magnificent. And that's as someone who's not a huge Batman fan.
No, this is just my little side thing. The few that he has, very few of these out. His run on Superman right now has actually been really fun to read. It doesn't feel too serious. Like, it feels like it has nothing to do with whatever the fuck they're doing with Superman right now. It's just a big, epic, colorful Jim Lee drawn Superman adventure, and that's why
it's really all you want.
It's fantastic.
That's what Superman is.
That reminds me. I was actually going to talk to you guys about this even off the podcast. Back when New 52 relaunched, one of the titles they said was going to happen was Animal Man. And I was like,
heard it was cool.
You're doing Animal Man.
Heard it's been really cool.
I've heard really good things. Picked it up and I read like the first handful of issues just on a whim.
Heard it's really dark.
It's really dark and it's really fucking good.
Cool. All right.
Like, enough to the point where Animal Man, I'd heard about him and knew jack fuck all about him.
Yeah.
And I read this and I was like, oh, learn about Animal Man today. Let's do this.
Nice.
He's kind of a stupid character.
Sure.
But he's done really well, and there's this really awesome like family dynamic in it. But I'll let you guys read it.
I've flipped through like the trade. The art is bizarre, but it looks like it matches like the story.
It does. It really,
which
really
is
does.
what a good comic should have.
Yeah. It's one of those creative teams that work really, like Fraction and Naja.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
Fucking getting off track again. All right, we're moving back in time again. Okay, so probably my favorite, at least in my top 3 favorite comic books of all time, is Sandman, because I'm a sucker for Neil Gaiman also. Because he appeals to my fucking nerdy, gothic side.
Currently a consultant for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, because there's a fucking raccoon in it.
and that's the only reason why.
I will always and forever love Sandman. It's easily one of the best comic book series ever written.
I still need to read Why the Last Man.
And Why the Last Man is really good too. Although for me, Why the Last Man, just after a certain point for me when I read it, it just kind of...
Did it not click anymore?
It wasn't even that it was like getting bad. It's
no.
The whole thing is great. It just felt it kind of dragged.
It does kind of hit a stretch where it feels like they're not accomplishing anything for a bit. Yeah,
I've just like they're just kind of standing around with dicks in the hand.
But for me, the series itself is so short that it's pretty easy to just kind of burn through that real quick and get to the end game.
Yeah,
and once it hits the end game,
it's done.
Pretty unreal shit.
All right,
so like I said, Sandman's probably my at least top 3 favorite comic books of all time.
Nice.
Or comic series, rather. And other than that, there's not a whole lot. I fucking hate the 90s. The 90s were too extreme.
I would agree with that.
Just too extreme to max.
So.
Too many muscles, too many pouches.
For the next.
Too many zippers.
I will get too many zippers. I will go to my deathbed saying that Watchmen is... it was a very, very timely piece, and other than that, it has fuck all else going for it.
I really enjoy it, but
I like Watchmen.
I do think it gets overhyped a little bit.
When motherfuckers bring it up in modern day, they're like, it still applies to modern day. I'm like, fucking no, it doesn't. It applies as much to modern day as fucking Catcher in the Rye applies to modern day. It has nothing to fucking do with right now.
You get it out.
And on that, why don't you take it?
I feel a little bit better. You guys.
I am without a doubt the least experienced person on this show, not counting Brandon.
Officially on this show.
When it comes to actually reading comics, I've been a superhero fan for most of my life. Spider-Man became my unhealthy love when I was a kid. I like Spider-Man playset and the TV show.
He had 2 Spider-Man dolls who would bring them together and be like, now who cares?
So I loved Spider-Man from a pretty early age, and so I spent a lot of time. I couldn't get my hands on comics as a kid, and as someone who like played Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and video games and shit, I had way too much stuff I was spending my allowance on to buy comics.
Same here.
Fucking even in the 90s, they were expensive as balls.
Oh, yeah.
Like back in the day, 25 cents a comic. That's
Oh, yeah.
Now they're like $4
Yeah.
I can barely afford them now.
It's a pack of cigarettes price nowadays.
I couldn't read comics growing up really. But I did still meticulously research Spider-Man to the best of a kid's ability without having like Wikipedia. I remember my school library had like a like one of those Marvel encyclopedias just for Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I was like I was just reading that.
I know the one you're talking
getting
about,
all into the mythology of all of his villains and him and everything that led up to it. And it's just like. So, like, honestly, half the shit I know about Spider-Man stems from, like, obsessively reading that book when I was in school.
My mom was a librarian for our elementary school, and someone had donated one of those guides for the Hulk.
Yeah.
And she goes, I can't have this in the school. You want it? And I was like, okay.
Why the fuck can't she
There
have
was
it in
some
school?
reasons that she couldn't, but the overall point was she goes, do you want it? I was like, yeah sure. And so I have a lot of weird facts about Hulk in my head.
I know strangely a lot about Bruce Banner.
So, or at least what he was. So,
Indestructible Hulk's also really good.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It was a lot better than I thought it'd be, which I actually really like it.
Continue.
So that was that, and still reading comics growing up. I didn't really, but I started getting more into other superheroes as the movie craze started kicking up dust.
It's the age of the comics. It's the age of the comics.
I went and saw X-Men with my mom. I obviously saw Spider-Man when it came out and just fell in love with it. So I ended up watching all the big superhero movies as they came out, even the bad ones. I saw Daredevil, I saw Fantastic Four, I saw Elektra.
I have a small love for Daredevil.
Daredevil the movie's not awful.
I like the director's cut a lot.
I of course love Ben Affleck, but
Batfleck.
That's here and there.
That's another whole podcast.
So most of what I learned about comics for most of my life I got from movies. And sometimes the TV shows. I didn't watch most of them. Like I didn't watch Batman Beyond. I should have, but I didn't.
Poor bastard.
Yeah, I did see bits and pieces of the animated series. I've watched more of that since then. I of course watched Spectacular Spider-Man, which is the greatest thing that
you
ever
got
happened
me into
to anybody.
that. I really liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought it would.
Stupidest theme song.
Theme song, but
It's
goddamn,
so catchy.
did it understand Spider-Man?
It's like every Lady Gaga song, kind of stupid, but it'll get stuck in your head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right on spot with that. Kind of stupid, but won't get stuck in your head is Ultimate Spider-Man, which is garbage.
I see. I have some friends who have really been saying good things about it.
They're
too.
stupid, and I hate them.
Except for apparently the Taskmaster episodes.
There's a couple episodes in season 1 where it pretends to be pretty good, and then it quickly dispatches with that illusion. And I wish I could love it even more now because I'm starting to get into Nova, and Nova's a part of that show as well.
Right. And it's the current Nova, right?
It's
Is it Richard Rider?
I don't know what
It's
his
not Sam?
name is actually. I don't know.
Huh.
Because I haven't really watched it since I started reading
Got
Nova, so I'm not familiar with the Nova they're using in the show. I should look into that.
I know, weirdly enough, there's a character who's part of their weird random hodgepodge. Their current version of like White Tiger or whatever.
It's like White Tiger.
She's apparently
Nova,
in
Iron Fist, Power
Mighty
Man.
Avengers now because she's diverse and stuff. But whatever.
It's silly.
They're trying.
They
They're really
are.
trying.
Yeah.
So it's really only in the last couple of months that I've really started going balls deep in comics. Over the last couple of years, I read like the entire Bendis Ultimate Spidey run.
Again.
I read all of Walking Dead.
Very good.
That's stuff I read before
Thank you.
this recent fad of mine. And then like Watchmen and Scott Pilgrim and a couple other trades here and there. But for the most part, didn't read comics until a couple months ago when I started just being like, fuck it, I'm going to start downloading comics and reading them. And I've loved it. I've been keeping up like mad. And probably my favorite guy's going. I love Spider-Man, obviously, still. Ultimate and Superior. I really like The Flash.
Flash is a fun book.
Flash is a really fun book, and I've really taken to him as a character.
Compared to what a lot of books are nowadays, it's very light.
Yeah, Batman's obviously great. We touched on that. I think The Walking Dead's doing some of its best work in years.
I love The Walking Dead. I got to read their new trade, and by read I mean I got to skim it because I didn't have much time, but still love it.
It's fucking fantastic.
There's a tiger in this one.
Hey, and
it's killing people.
Yeah, I know. I love the tiger.
I love it.
It fucking
Why? Because
it eats a zombie in the newest issue.
Oh, good.
And
Nice.
Rick's all like, "Should it be doing that?" And he's like, "Oh no, it's okay. It doesn't affect tigers." But I wouldn't try and take it from her.
That's awesome.
So like, all right, that happened.
Whatever.
And I'm also really getting into Green Arrow and Aquaman. Green Arrow got a lot better after that.
After
reboot.
the change.
I read the first couple issues, and I was like, just...
Yeah, that's kind of what the world was like.
And then I went back, and I started reading from the spot where the new team took over, and big step up. And And then on the Marvel side, the 2 Spider-Man books, and I'm pretty crazy.
Team Up?
Not Team Up. I'm talking Superior and Ultimate.
Okay, sorry.
I should read Team Up.
I'll lend you Team Up. I have a lot of it.
I need to read as well.
Foes is fun.
And then I'm crazy into Cosmic Marvel right now. I'm reading the shit out of Nova and Guardians, and I just spent a good couple weeks catching up on an old Nova series and loved it. So Nova's pretty much climbing my list.
If you get it on trade, I'll read it.
And I know I'm killing Sparky right now.
No. It's. Have you told Chris about your newfound Cosmic Marvel love?
I haven't.
Does Chris like?
Oh God, we're telling him when he's on the podcast.
Okay,
I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna break the news to him when he's on, because he's gonna be on either.
Does he love it or hate it?
Because I couldn't remember if he loved it or hated it.
You'll find out.
Oh, okay. We'll make it a mystery. That sounds great.
It'll be great.
I'm probably just gonna go immediately upstairs and message him. Chris, how do you feel about Rocket Raccoon?
Chris, don't tell Andrew. Don't tell Andrew, and he'll be like, okay.
So I'm really into Cosmic.
Is it really next
right
week?
now.
That's awesome.
It's either next week or the week.
Cool.
We might have to. Okay,
dude, if he's here next week, that's my birthday.
I'll talk to you guys about that.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Chris, I'll tell you after we're done.
Okay.
So, kind of as I predicted, we've taken up most of the time telling our origin stories.
It's okay.
So
we
to
can
speak.
we can quick do another one like right after if you want. Just talk about that.
I don't really care either way, but
these fucks I give. Oh, they're raining.
Mostly, I just it's good to get this out here and be like, hey, comics, shut up, thing. There's a program on my computer that's popping up and being like, do this thing. So yeah, those are my things. I'm trying to get into as much shit as possible because I feel like I've got a lot to compensate for. I've got to catch up.
Sorry?
I've got to catch up on years and years of books that like you guys have been reading and I haven't.
Oh, okay, all right. No, I get it.
I also really love Sex Criminals.
Very fun. Very
yeah,
funny book.
I know I already sucked his dick so hard, but like I'm not even playing. The 3rd issue of Sex Criminals, I have not laughed that hard at any type of like book in years.
It was really fun.
The whole
If you don't
really
mind,
fun
I'll
thing.
take it. I'll take it tonight if you
Do it.
want. I never got to
Fucking
read
read
it.
it.
All right, good because I've been loving it too.
So yeah, I don't know if we really got anything else major to say.
What are we? Are you trying to wrap it up, or are we still going?
Well, we're at about 27 minutes right now, so we can pretty much.
Yeah.
Go.
All right,
we
no,
can
we
talk
can
about
wrap
what's
it
on the list or what just came out.
If
Is that a list?
There's
that's
nothing.
up to you, showrunner.
There's nothing super major that came out this week.
Nothing too.
Do you guys? Did you both of you guys read Superior Carnage all the way through?
I've skimmed it and I know the end.
Well, if you know how it went, at least.
I know there were two
yes.
big consequences at the end of it.
Yeah.
I finally went and read it the other day and just read the whole thing.
I thought the miniseries as a whole was more humorous than serious. 2 things big happened. For spoilers for those of you who don't know, Carnage, who is Cletus Cassidy for the longest time, and for most fans has always been Carnage. I am one of them. Mm-hmm. He was in a very stupid crossover between Venom and Scarlet Spider, which were both I enjoy both of them. They were both in a very awful crossover. Both books were very poorly written for this series called Minimum Carnage. It was very stupid. The only end result that was worth mentioning was that Scarlet Spider lobotomizes Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah.
He is still Carnage, but it is all just like Carnage killing everything, and not even like no quips, no nothing.
Turns him into maximum Carnage.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't really function without the symbiote.
No,
it's the only thing keeping him going.
So the end results of the crossover Superior Carnage did 2 things. One, because of certain reasons, they think the symbiote has possibly healed Cletus, so he is actually like moving and doing things. Other one is, I don't know if this will tie into the main book, Superior Spider-Man now has the Carnage symbiote.
Nice.
Under lock and key.
He like captured it.
It is now lock and key underneath, like with his...
Like a portion of it, or like...
No, like the whole thing.
Oh,
like he has it like in a vial next to a bunch of the other supervillains that he has captured as well.
That's safe.
Probably not.
I have a feeling a mass breakout is going to happen towards the end of Superior.
I'm hoping that it might get a tie-in to the main book, and that's one of the big fuck-ups at the very end of it.
Yeah.
Because we all knew Superior is going to end eventually,
Yeah.
but... We all know, we all are hoping it's going to have like the big Breaking Bad of endings where everything that can go wrong goes wrong.
Yeah.
And we all get to watch this.
We all get to watch the
Doc
pieces
Ock
fall,
Spider-Man,
and it'll be fun and glorious. And I'm hoping it gets a part of it because that'll be a big moment. But I don't know if it will. Shit. So
I thought it was a cool little series. I like the idea of Carnage in another person's body. I was kind of wondering if they were going to stick with that for a while, but then they just.
Back to status quo.
Yeah,
it looks like
back to
very
status quo, which
well, they
isn't
signed
too
up
bad.
for an annual.
Yeah?
It was not going to have it. It was just going to be the 5 issues, but it is now going to have an annual where it looks like Cletus is going to become Carnage again, and maybe do things differently, maybe not. I don't know.
You said do things differently, and I thought of him like changing his ways.
Yeah, exactly.
In the Carnage symbiote, but he's going around picking up litter with his big spike hands. And,
He tries to give a flower to a kid, and she's like,
he's like planting trees and shit. It's like, no guys, I'm fine now.
I'm a superior
I
Carnage
just look
now.
horrifying.
God damn it.
Well,
Comic books.
I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up there.
That's a good
seems like
start, though,
place.
yeah.
But this was Comics and Coffee.
Yeah, you're really bad at sending them out.
Well,
Do you want me to do it for you this time?
Sure, go
You
for
want me
it.
to do it?
Send
You want me
us
to do it?
out.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for listening to Comics and Coffee, episode 1. As always, we start across from me.
Hi, I'm Mitch.
Andrew.
And I am Jake. Again, thank you for listening. We will have more of these probably every week. We'll see how it
We'll
goes.
see.
But we're
excited to be here.
yeah, we're excited
It's
to
a
be
work
here.
in progress.
We're excited to have you guys listening. Stay tuned for more. Bye.